What is that like on the road when you guys can barely hear anything and you're playing that role beyond just playing the role at right guard that you have to be a communicator out there?
I feel like after this being my sixth or whatever year, like the situations like that where it's so loud, it's kind of fun. It's like a fun challenge. Like you got to be able to execute, and if you don't, then it's going to keep on. The snowball's just going to keep going. So having to overly communicate like that is actually, I find it fun because you really got to make sure that everyone's on the same page. You can't really just get stuck in that motion of, oh, we see the defensive front, this is what we're usually going to do. If I can't hear the person next to me, then I got to do whatever it is to make sure that he knows, and I know what's going on. So I like it.
How long does it take you to settle into a game when it's, that loud there?
For me, it's kind of just that first play. You kind of always have jitters. Every athlete has jitters until that first play. Once you make contact with that person, it's like, all right, well, we're in it now. So you just got to keep going.
You've gotten a good look at Poncho this year, obviously rotating with him. What stood out to you about him and the way that he's been able to come in as a true freshman and have an impact on this team?
I'd say probably his vulnerability. Athlete like that coming out of high school who's that skilled can easily just kind of be like, oh, okay, like I know what I'm doing. But Pancho came in with open eyes, open arms. He wanted to learn from me and all the old guys. So just having that type of athlete with that skill level at his age is very beneficial for us because he's able to come in and actually make plays with us. And also he's just a great guy. I mean, his older brother's even better person. They're both awesome people. So like, it's always fun playing with Pancho.
With Ope, how have you seen him kind of bring his younger brother into the mix and make sure that he was, on the right page and doing things the right way?
Ope is a man of few words, but once he says something, you got to listen. So I think him and Pancho already have that relationship because obviously they grew up together. So like, you don't really see Pancho, or you don't really see Ope coaching Pancho a lot, but he'll say something quietly and Pancho will just listen immediately. So like, I don't know, Ope is a great dude, great. He's one of the best. He's one of my favorite players on the offensive line because he's the pure definition of toughness. He's had so many injuries and he pushed through it all since he's been here. So I really commend him for that.
You mentioned the vulnerability with Poncho. Do you think that's pretty rare for a guy coming in just for years? People have been telling him how good he is to come in here and have that mentality?
Yeah, kinda. Yes and no, because obviously coming out of high school, if you're a 5-star recruit, 4-star recruit, best in your state or whatever, like it's so easy to come in with a big head. But those dudes who do come in looking to learn even more, even though they already know that they're at that level, he reminds me of Panay. When Panay got here too, he was one of those dudes who was already at a different skill set, but he wasn't one of those dudes who was kind of cocky and that he had it all. So I think that, yeah, you see it sometimes, but also like there are those hidden gems of people who are still humble, knowing what they're working with.
How much confidence do you guys have in Bo going forward?
I mean, that's my quarterback. He's back there throwing the rock every play, so I'm gonna rock with him until we can't no more.
What's your memories of this series? Because I think you're one of the few. I'm pretty sure you traveled in 18 up there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few left who has. You guys have won ever since.
Yeah.
So just what are your memories of this Wazzu series and how wild some of these games have been?
I know growing up there is one of the loudest stadiums in the Pac-12 for sure. And Wazzu has always been a very versatile defense. They always show a bunch of different looks, and they always go out there and execute full speed. They're one of those high motor teams that they might not be the biggest or the fastest or the strongest, but they do play with the most heart out of all the defenses that we see throughout the whole entire season. So this upcoming week, I know is going to be a really good challenge for us, especially for us up front to go against guys like Brendan Jackson and Ron Stone off the edge. So I'm really excited though. It's always a great challenge.
You've faced those guys so many times throughout your career. It's kind of one of the weird matchups you guys have both. I think your 6th year.
Yeah.
What's it like kind of seeing those players grow and then looking into the matchup going?
It's actually kind of fun because me and Brenden, we actually played against each other back in high school. So I've been going against him since I was 14 or whatever. So like I see it as always a friendly competition. Every time I go against him, it's a challenge. It's not like it's a walk in the park. He's a great athlete too. So you always got to prepare for the most for whenever you're going against guys like him. But no, I mean, after the game, obviously I'm going to say what's up to him. And like, it's coming from the same city, you always got respect for those other dudes. So I think it's a privilege to be able to go against him too when he's on the opposite side of the ball and we go back and forth. And we've been going back and forth for the last 7-8 years. So I love it.
Who do you think's won the majority of the matchups?
I don't know. It's always been even. High school has been even. I mean, back in high school, respectfully, my team wasn't the winning team, so we're kind of always getting whooped. So, but no, I mean, it's always an even matchup every time I go against him.